peel back the layers that way. This one looks like I have to turn it onto the side. It's got some arrows saying this way up, so we do it like this. Seems like how they want you to open it. It's a lot different than the other one, I'll say that much. I think that UPS is here with my caliper, so I can check the build plate size accurately. I had to order one of those because I don't really use those much. Oh, look at that! So it's a box in a box. So it is the same size box, just about as that one, but it's in another box. I don't know why they always do that. It seems like a waste of a box, but whatever. Why not just ship it in this box? Save the earth a little bit of cardboard. But, oh well. Not a big deal. Alright, so now we got the box out of the box, out of the box, out of the box. And we're going to open this box. Let's see what we got. Now this is going to be a mono LCD 3D printer, resin printer. As compared to the old version, was an RGB LCD, meaning it had color LCD with 3 layers to it, which when you're dealing with UV light, you want the least layers possible to get the most UV light penetrating to the resin, which would cause the resin to harden and cure quicker, shortening your print times. So that's why the new systems have these mono LCDs, and that's why it's such a big deal, because it actually, from what I hear, significantly shortens print times. So just like the other Creality resin printer, up here you have your quick start guide or your information guide. You got a USB drive. This looks like almost like something you would use to put a sticker down or something. Maybe squeegee the resin vat, probably. Just the same tools as the old one. You got a brush, a pretty non-usable metal spatula and a plastic spatula. These metal spatulas, I just tend to throw them away because you can't use that. You'll end up scratching your set film if you try to use it. If you try to even use it on the build plate, most of the time you'll end up scratching that too with it. The only way you could possibly use it is if you sharpen the edge, which is a possibility I might do this time. Also, sometimes what I'll do is I'll put it behind the razor blade. I'll get a razor blade and I'll put this behind it because I won't be able to tap directly onto the razor blade since the build plate's kind of in the way. So I'll put this behind the razor blade just like that and tap on this and get that razor blade to start going under the print to pop it up. So you got your accessories. Nothing special there. Again, you got your FET films, same as the LDR. And they are 140 millimeters by 200 millimeters, which is basically the exact same FET films you would use on the LDR. I've heard that the resin vat on this is exactly the same as the LDR in size and everything. It's the build plate that's the only difference in the screen. You got your power plug. So let's get rid of this and get to the real good part. And it, you know, I said before I heard it moving around. I heard it moving around in that box, which is not as big of a deal. It's actually packed pretty well in here. As you can see, it's pretty tight in there. Try to get you both views. Alright, now I'm gonna lift it up and see if I can do this the right way. Be really careful doing that, because this is just plastic, it could fall right out. Oh, I made one mistake already. Oh, no, I don't see it in there. Oh, it's in here, okay. The build plate. They encase it in the foam. I don't know if it's in here or if it's in that foam that's still in the box. Let me find my razor. got everything pretty protected here, pretty well protected, which is the biggest thing. You know, you don't want your new machine to be all scratched up before it even gets to you. You know, this one looks good, looks real good. Now they went with a Mars type red cover rather than the LDR, which has the Prusa type orange color cover. Well, it's no different. It's the same thing really. It's just a tinted cover, and rather than doing it in black, they do it in colors to make it look nice, I guess. Now here is something important for you guys to take note of. You're gonna slide this styrofoam off of the machine, right? Careful while you do that. You don't want to bend this in any way. But up here in the top, right here, is a piece of foam that comes out. You can hardly see it. You gotta look real good. And you pop it out, and that's where your build plate is. A lot of guys will toss this away. I heard a story of a guy who tossed this into a fire, and then he was like, "Where's my build plate?" And sure enough, he went out to his fire pit, and there was his build plate. So, don't toss that away. Make sure you pull that out first. I would like to compare the build plate from the LDR, but the problem is I got a print on it right now that I gotta clean, rinse off, and then remove before I can do that. But from what I've heard, this is 10 millimeters each way bigger. So it's 130 by, I believe, 80, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 85. No, that's not right, because the other one's 135. So I'm gonna double check, and I will add into the video at the end what the actual dimensions are on this, because I'm supposed to send that to a flex plate manufacturer who's going to be making magnetic flex plates for these new machines, which are amazing. They should come with those. They're so good. What it does is, instead of printing right onto here and having to scrape it off, it's a magnetic spring steel plate that just pops right off. It uses a 3M glue that resin won't eat up, because resin will eat up most glues. And so you got one part that goes on with the 3M glue, that's a magnet, and then a spring steel magnetic plate that goes on top of that. And then you recalibrate your level and everything like that. And then from there on out, every time you print, you just pop off the spring steel and flex it real easily, and pop, your print comes right off in seconds. Versus what the normal way of doing it, that's a major improvement. So it's definitely worth getting. They could be a little bit pricey. Sometimes they range from, depending on where you get it from, $25 to $50. Wham Bam is the more expensive company, but they are also the better reputable company that I know of. They have a better reputation. They've been doing it for longer than anybody else, really. They have a kit called the Double Wham, where you get two plates, so you can pull one off, put a new one, put the other one the fresh one right on, and go print it while you work on your print and clean it and wash it and everything. All right, so, and as with the LDR, we got pretty much just the same setup here. You got the resin vat, you got your rail system, single rail on this. Doesn't look like they grease these too well, so you might want to grease it yourself before you put any resin in it. One difference I do see right now off the bat is, okay, so these do move freely up and down, which is a good thing. One of their first machines didn't have that. One of the things I noticed off the bat, first of all, the fit film is a lot cleaner on this machine than they were on that one when it came from the factory, and they were on the LDR. It has these guide markings where it'll guide you as to where you can set down the resin vat. One thing I've heard is that this part right here, the screen, is what's bigger. But what I did notice is on the LDR, it has almost the same exact opening size, and the border around the screen is what's smaller to make the screen bigger. So I'm wondering, and I've heard the motherboard is exactly the same, the only difference is software. So what I'm wondering is if there's going to be a kit in the future to upgrade the LDRs to 6-inch mono LCDs, which, knowing how Creality handles things, more than likely they will make something to that extent, and if they don't, somebody else will. So be patient. If you don't want to buy a whole new machine, you have the option of doing that possibly in the future. Not 100% on that yet, but we'll see. Now you got a screen protector here, just like on the LDR. You got a fan here that blows into the machine. Then you got a fan in the back that blows out of the machine. There's a carbon filter in the machine as well. A little bit different here, it's got louvers. That's interesting. I haven't heard that on any other reviews. On the LDR, it's just like holes in it. This one, it pops up. So I'll try to get a close-up of that. If you can see there, they're little louvers. Oh, and no, that's the same. Pretty much everything else is the same. So you got the little louvers there. Try to get a good angle of that, but it's kind of hard. Yeah, so on the other machine, it's kind of like this on the other side, but on this one it's different. And on here, when you pop this off, your motherboard is right below this. Also, all your connections for the motors, like this motor, the fan motor, also your LCD displays, they're all right here. So when you pop this off, you have access to pretty much everything. One interesting note is that there's a port in there that says Wi-Fi. So I have a feeling they are going to update or create an upgrade in the future to allow you to control this via Wi-Fi, which would be awesome. Other than that, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison. I'm also going to get the Mars 2 Pro Mono, and yeah, I have another video I'm going to do as far as accessories, but I'll do a quick run through on some pretty cool, good accessories you might want to get for this video. These are rubber or silicone squeegees. They're meant for tinting. They got a little beveled edge. These are great for changing the resin in your vat. It won't scratch the FET films, and it does a really good job of getting every last bit of resin out. These work real great. They're cheap too. I got 4 for $10. So those are like a must-have, pretty much, item. Another good item to have are these silicone, I guess they call them, let's see what they call them. They call them silicone synthetic brushes. So they're like, kind of like what you would use to put makeup on or a face mask on. They're just like little assorted sizes, silicone brushes. And they're really good for trying to dig out between cracks to get resin out of the models. Because you don't want to leave any resin behind, uncured resin. It looks nasty, it gets sticky. You want to wash off as much uncured residue as you possibly can. Another cool item you might want to grab if you're going to be selling your prints is some bubble wrap. This is real cheap, $7 for 50 of these on Amazon. I sell a lot of my prints, so it's worth buying. Another cool option for wrapping your prints for shipping is this stuff. It's called Scotch Flex and Seal, and what it basically is it's similar to that, but you put out a piece, you put your piece on it, then you put another piece of this on top and you press around the edges and it seals together. And you can custom make different size envelopes, and it has air bubble wrap in it, so it protects it pretty well. This right here is another thing that's pretty much a must-have if you're going to be resin printing. a real good file set. And the reason why I say this is a must-have is because when you print in resin, sometimes you have to build supports to support things, and you break them off, but they leave a little bit of an indent or a dot or something behind, and you'll end up having to file that off or sand it off. So that brings me to the other thing, is sandpaper. Sandpaper is also another thing you might want to get in addition to this. That also will help. It's like a finishing process for your models. I got this one off of Amazon. It's a pretty nice kit, and gives you pretty much everything you're gonna need. All these little tiny ones, which is really what you need most, more than these big ones, to get in the grooves and stuff like that. This is also good for getting, like, if you cured something but didn't realize you left resin on it, like some of the resin residue, you can use this and then go back and sand it. What I use it a lot for is the translucent resins. You need to sand those and polish them to make them really translucent. Otherwise, they're gonna just come out cloudy. So pretty much that's what I got this for, is for those. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other thing is, there's different resins, I'm sure you guys know. There's water washable. I'm going through a lot of testing as far as resin goes. I just got this iPhone rigid resin. I find that a lot of these resins that say rigid or tough end up being really good resins, and they're really strong. They make really strong parts. So I'm tending to go for those resins, but at the same time, they don't make them in every color, so it's all dependent upon what my customers want. But what I find is to not buy a lot of resin and have it on stock. What I'll do is I'll have some of the more popular colors, and then if a customer requests a special color, I'll tell them, look, I got to order it from Amazon. It's no big deal. It just adds a day or two onto the processing time. And that's one of the great things about Amazon carrying all this stuff, is that we can get it within a day or two, and it's a big help when you can get things that quickly, especially things like resin. Other than that, pretty much that's it. I'm gonna get it set up, do another video on that, and I'll do a few other videos reviewing it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to build up my subscribers, and we will be doing giveaways soon. So if you would like to participate in the giveaways, subscribe to the channel. Anybody subscribed to the channel is going to be eligible for it, and I'll make an announcement on that in the future. Also, one thing I want to touch on. Be careful when you clean this, when you first get it. Use something really soft like a microfiber cloth. Do not use paper towels because they will scratch this, okay? Other than that, that's about it. You guys take care. Hope you liked the video.